An aviation attorney says the NTSB's latest report shows that Boeing is, in part, responsible for the crash of UPS Flight 2976 in Louisville. The NTSB says a particular part of the plane that failed had been on Boeing's radar since 2011. Wave News reporter Fernando Garcia-Francescini has the attorney's reaction and what she says Boeing should have done differently.
Aviation attorney Leah Bushiero did not mince words when talking about the role she says Boeing played in the crash of UPS Flight 2976 on November 4th.
I think this is abhorrent behavior on the part of a manufacturer.
A new report from the NTSB says investigators found a part of the plane that's supposed to hold an engine onto a wing split in two. The report also says Boeing had warned MD-11 operators that this part had failed 4 times on 3 different planes 15 years ago.
They issued a service letter in 2011 indicating that the susceptibility of this part to fail would not cause a safety of flight issue. Now, obviously, an engine coming off of a wing during flight is most definitely a safety of flight issue.
Bushiero says there are things Boeing could have and should have done differently. She says the company could have required replacement of that specific part, called a raise, to an upgraded part that is similar in capability but less likely to fail.
It did not forbid putting on the same part that it already knew was susceptible to failure.
Bushiero says Boeing also should have required more frequent inspections. According to the NTSB report, Boeing recommended inspectors look at bearing races every 5 years. In some cases, bearing races could be a part of a pylon assembly, and we know from a previous NTSB report that UPS maintenance plans required pylons to be inspected every 6 years.
And this is absolutely something that should be looked at very closely, not only Boeing's liability, but UPS's liability for allowing this particular aircraft with this particular part to remain in service.
Bushiero says the people impacted by this crash have a path to making a claim in this case. She does recommend they get in touch with an aviation attorney as quickly as possible. Fernando Garcia-Francescini, Wave News.